What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Dreamer, aka Mr. Better Beats. I hope y'all enjoyed the first episode of In the Mix with Better Beats. This is the second episode. It's gonna be the studio tour. But before I break into the studio tour, I do want to actually take the time to let y'all know that I'm working really hard on these video series, and I do appreciate the support. You know, y'all don't know how much it means to me to get this amount of support that I've been getting from you guys. So anything that I can do for you, you guys can email me. I'll have my email listed. You can contact me through my website. If you're looking for beats, gotbetterbeats.com is the place to get your beats. And if you want beats, who don't want better beats? What's going on, y'all? Okay. This is pretty much my setup. I don't have a really huge studio. I do have access to a couple, but what I want my series to really be about is to show you that you don't have to have, a 200,000 SSL console to be able to record good music. Yeah, does it make your stuff sound a certain way? Yes, it does. And there's a reason why a lot of people have that. But if you're just interested in recording and having some good sounding stuff, you really don't have to have that. And there are certain ways to, get around that. It's really about the knowledge of what you know. And that's what the video series is going to be about. That and talking to other people who are successful, in this industry and other industries. And talking to different artists. So we're going to have a lot of Q&As and different things going on. But right now, let's get into the studio tour. All right, well, right here, I have my AKG C414. It's not the XL version, but I got it a while back. I haven't used it much, but I know that if you heard the We cover that I did by Jeremiah, I actually did that without using a pop filter. So I think that, that is really impressive for that mic. It's a really good sounding mic. It's a good sturdy mic, and it also has the polar patterns on the front. So it is a very good mic. And my monitors that I use, they're the 8-inch. They're the 8-inch Event 2020s. And if you're looking for some monitors for production, a lot of times the 8-inch are really good. And a lot of times when you're trying to record vocals and stuff like that, the 5s can be good as well. It's just really, you have to tune your ear to the different frequencies and stuff like that, because the 8-inch, you get a lot of bass out of those. So, not saying that you can't mix on them, but a lot of times it's a little bit easier to mix on the 5s because it kind of gets, the 5-inch speaker is close to what you hear in the car. So, it just gives you a similar reference for, in the car and what people are here. But that's exactly why it's good to have a pair of mixing monitors, studio monitor headphones like these. These are the HD 280s by Sennheiser. They're actually good. But I also like to have like the little earbuds, and I plug that into my headphone app, and I see how it's going to sound, because a lot of people who listen to your music, believe it or not, they're going to be listening to it with something like this, or they're going to be listening to it with their phone speaker. So you want to get a chance to reference everything through everything that you have, even if you have play it in your DVD player or something like that. You just want to hear how it sounds on the TV, just making sure that there's no crazy frequencies when it comes to smaller speakers. Everything is going to be helpful for you. So, okay, and I did tell you guys that I was going to show you why I use two computers. This computer here, I actually use for the production of my beats. And the main reason I did, because for some crazy reason, Alienware, well, my particular Alienware, I'm not sure if it's all of them, but my particular Alienware is not good with Maschine. It crackles, it pops. I tried all the settings. I went through all the audio buffer settings and latency and everything. So, and I tried everything. So what I did was I actually kept my old computer. It already had my sounds and everything. stored in there. So for right now, I'm actually using this to do the beats, and when it comes to mixing down the beat and getting it prepared to go on my site, that's when it goes in here, and I use it with Cubase 8 Pro. So, and I use Cubase Pro, and I want to get into Pro Tools, but I haven't. I wish I would have got into it earlier, because now they really don't have the LE series, which is all I need, because I really want to get in. I really want to get a copy just to learn it, but I actually don't want to. Now they have the full copies, and they're really pricey, and I don't want to get it just to say I have it. That's a lot of money to spend just to have a copy of Pro Tools, just to learn from it. So I'll be looking into that. Maybe they have an educational, copy, or maybe I can get an interactive copy or something like that on the website, because Pro Tools is pretty much the industry standard, which I do know, but I do use Cubase. Excuse me. Let me go ahead and get something open here. The Acer I use with Maschine, and Maschine is my tool of choice right now. I love Maschine. I came over from Maschine. Well, I came over from Reason to start using Maschine, and at first it was a little bit of a learning curve, but after I got it, I fell in love with it. And I do love the sounds of Reason, so all my Reason lovers, y'all don't hate me, because I do love Reason as well. But I think the main thing that I need to do is I need to find a way. Well, I guess I'll have to start using my Maschine inside my DAW, which is Cubase, and start really linking up everything together, because I do love the capabilities and the sounds of Reason. And from there, I do have my MPK 49, so I use that to play the sounds from Maschine, and it works really good for me. The pads on the Akai MPK 49, as you know, they're not that responsive, and I think that's one of the mistakes they made. They didn't actually put the true MPC pads, even though they said they did. You have to do a couple things to them to make them as responsive as you want them. But I haven't taken that plunge. I'm thinking about getting the Akai Advance. But okay, and here, what I have powering my studio and making sure that I have clean power is a Furman power conditioner, and right below it I have a Focusrite Platinum Trackmaster Pro. I use it as a mic preamp for one of my mics. I haven't been using it for the last couple months. I've just been trying to actually see if there's really a big difference, and because I know in the bigger studios you'll see a lot of Avalon mic channel strips and everything. So I just want, and it does work very well. It doesn't add a lot of color, which will be good in a lot of cases, and if you use it the right way, you'll get a really good sound out of it, as far as kind of compressing your vocals and just keeping a lot of those transients down to get a thicker sound on your vocals. And below that, I have my PreSonus monitor station, the second version. And I love it because I have individual headphone amps. For those of you guys out there, the less you try to shortcut, the more quality you will have. And I did it too, and that's the reason why I'm saying something. But I mean, you got to start investing in yourself. I go to a lot of smaller studios, and there's nothing wrong with that. My studio is small, but make sure, because every time you use like those splitters without using the headphone amplifier, you are splitting the signal. So it actually, you wonder why you're not getting enough volume. That is one of the reasons why. So moving on. Well, I guess I didn't tell you all everything that it does, but you have a Q source that you can actually listen to, and you can have a main source that you can play on your monitor mix. Let's say you have a Q source. Let's say you have somebody listening to something. They want to hear something in the background of their headphones, but it's not going to be in the main mix. They can actually do that. Like, let's say if they're singing a cappella, but they want the beat in their headphones, or they want a click track in their headphones, or just something of that sort, you can actually split the signal like that using the Q source, and you can actually have the main source. You can have 3 sets of monitors, or you can have the 5.1 surround sound setup, and you also have the talk back when you have your talent in the booth. Not bad. You have the talk back, you have the dim switch as well. You have mute and you have mono. For those of you wondering what mono is, it actually lets you put your mix in mono to see if you're missing anything, if you're canceling out any phase or anything. And it just helps you get a better mix. It gives you a different sound, kind of, so you can A/B your sound, you can check your mix. And the more you listen to this video series, you will learn a lot more about how I use all these things. Okay, I know you see it. You know what I'm saying? This is the heart of my studio right here. And this is the Yamaha O1V96i. It's a digital mixer with the capabilities to pretty much work as an audio interface and a control surface. And I do love this thing. I see a lot of good reviews. I see a lot of people using it, but I don't see a lot of useful information on the internet as far as YouTube on videos. So I'm thinking about doing an in-depth review on it, just showing you how I use it and in ways that it will be helpful, because I have went through everything trying to figure out how to record how I want to and just do different things, because you actually have to patch. You have to make sure that you have it patched just the right way, the way you want to record, depending on how you're recording. And you can also record full bands on this, depending on how many mic preamps you need. And it's also expandable through ADAT, and you got different options for the Yamaha. Actually has breakout box cards and stuff like that you can put in for different things like Dante. For those of you who are familiar with live sound, you can actually do Dante over Ethernet, and I think you can record like up to 32 or 64 channels at a time, and I guess Ethernet is a little faster. I use with the digital mixer, I use Cubase Pro, which I said earlier, and I use the 60-inch monitor. I know it's a bit of overkill, but I had it available, so instead of going with the 40 that I had at my older place, went with 20 more inches. But I actually love that too. It's good when you have talent in the studio and they can kind of just see what they're doing, and it's actually easy for me to see different things when it comes to certain transients and stuff like that. So I actually use the laptop for the mixer view, and I use the big screen for the workspace, or the multi-track screen, whatever you want to call it. But pretty much, all in a nutshell, this is my studio. I have a couple different pieces that I'll be showing you, but as far as what I use on the everyday basis, it's these 2 computers, the digital mixer, the MPK, the machine, and a mic. It really doesn't take a lot to get a good recording, and I definitely want to see that from you guys. I want to hear from you. I want to know what you use. I want to know if I can help you with some information on anything, or maybe if you need mixing or mastering. Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed the studio tour. And just to let you guys know, if you're interested in starting a studio, you can actually send me a message, email me or whatever. Any questions, I'll be happy to answer. And you never know how great you'll be until you tap into it. You don't have to be great to start, but you got to start to be great. And that quote comes from Eric Thomas, a great motivational speaker. I advise you to check him out. He will make you want to get up and get to work. But just to show you, just to prove to you, this is how I got the concept of recording right here, a 4-track tape recorder. My mom bought this from a yard sale. It was a long time ago. But I wish she was here today to see how far that I've gone, with the music, how much how much I've grown into loving music, because she doesn't even realize how much the small things that she did turned into big things. And I didn't realize it till, a couple years back. She got me my first radio as well, and that's really what started me into wanting to sing. And when I started singing, I didn't even think about a studio, And then I got this to learn the concept of recording. And then a friend of mine actually, he took me to a big studio with him. So, I mean, you never realize the things that you go through that will develop your passion. So I just want to tell y'all, stay positive, stay working, use your time wisely. I will always tell you that because I do it. You know what I'm saying? I was up 4 o'clock this morning. I haven't stopped yet. I'm not going to stop until, till everything is done for the day. So, peace out. I hope y'all enjoyed the studio tour. If y'all have any questions, let me know.